Please excuse that awkward camera angle. Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Super Mario Sunshine. In the last episode, we got to do some backtracking over to Rico Harbor to get the Shine Sprites that we couldn't get now that we have Yoshi back. In this episode, we're going to go back to Pinna Park to get the other half of the Shine Sprites. And with the next episode being the Runaway Ferris Wheel. So, to talk about this mission right here, though, there's a couple ways to go about it, but we'll actually explain once we get to it, because first it has to do with that presentation of the entryway, and then once you get to the actual park itself, then it just does that presentation for that one too. Did I ever mention as soon as you go into the main park, I think the game doesn't let you go back out to the entryway, which I honestly don't know why it wouldn't let you, because it's easy access to get in and out of. Well, at least, oh, you know, yeah, I can see it right there because the door's closed. So, yeah, that's honestly stupid. Like, why would they actually just block it off here when we want to go back to the entryway? I don't know why the game does that, you know, because other games we're going to be able to let you in other places, but, well, except for Galaxies, though. So, anyway, so to talk about the mission itself, though, as you can see, the Ferris wheel is having a real bad spaz attack. It's going super fast, and what's causing it is that there is an electric Koopa that's actually, you know, taking controls, hijacking it, and just making the whole thing malfunction. So, what we had to do is that we had to go to it, and we had to get rid of that electric Koopa to get the Ferris wheel back to its original moving pattern. And yeah, those are the enemies, the electric Koopas. It's basically like the closest thing we ever get to the Koopa Troopas. Even though they're like they look very different though, because again, you know, this game does have a lot of its own unique enemies, but even the returning enemies have real bizarre design. So anyway, so what you can do though, so the main intended way to go for it, I'm actually doing the faster, and I'm actually cheesing this whole thing. The intended way is that you want to go to the back of the Ferris wheel, and you have to go through this very difficult path. Like, you have to go through the gratings and climb on those. But you have those electric Koopas that are going to try to impede your progress, and it will take so many attempts because it is very difficult to do. So what I'm doing is that I don't want to do all that. There is actually a way to cheese all this here, and it's much faster and an easier way to do so. Is that if you get to the very top, you can just use the hover nozzle to get across through the Ferris wheel carts. And then, and that's how you get to the other side there. That's how you be able to get to the top. Yeah, this is actually the pathway to get to the the top here, the intended way basically. But as you can see, we're the amount of electric Koopas, and it's very difficult to do, and it takes a lot of attempts as well. I've done that before, and to save you a lot of the pain and frustration, this is actually the easiest way to get to it. And so you just hit that electric Koopa, and then he dives into the water, and my God, and the electricity coming from the power lines for the shell itself. Yeah, it's sunk to the water. That will kill anybody that's swimming. So yeah, by this point, Mario has committed a murder. Wow, he already has a bad reputation in Isle Delfino, but now he's actually committing more crimes. Well, your worst reputation. Now you already are committing some crimes for reals this time. Not like for any imposters. And what you just did was committed a murder. Not talking about the Koopa itself, but as in, you know, it got dumped to the water. Water conducts electricity. That kills and fries everybody swimming in it to death. At least for another of a radius. My God, Mario, what is your damage here? It was already bad enough according to the instruction manual in Super Mario Bros. 1, but you're actually, you know, killing these toads that were stated to turn to blocks. Ugh, God damn. But yeah, that's what the mission is. Just you know, just hitting that electric Koopa that's like from under the grating, and then that's how you get your Shine Sprite. And then the flow of the Ferris wheel will it'll go back to normal in that case. Man, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people riding on the Ferris wheel are feeling very queasy from the fast motion of the Ferris wheel, and man, they got so sick to their stomachs. They got all nauseous from it too. But, you know, then again, there are rides like that in which, you know, some of the rides that I've been to. Oh, yeah, this is actually how you kill those other electric Koopas. So, yeah. So, because you can actually squirt them with water, and again, water connects to electricity, and they will, and they get electrocuted very badly, and then they get fried because of it. So, next mission here is the Yoshi go-round, and so this is actually one of those missions in which Yoshi is required, and so I'm actually glad that we've unlocked Yoshi. So, this Yoshi, he wants a pineapple. And, you know, I was actually, you saw beforehand about, you know, why I kind of ranted a bit about Mario not being able to hold the durian fruit, and I thought maybe I kind of thought there'd probably be a bit of a reason for that, though. But then I actually took a second guess and realized, oh, wait a second. Mario's actually able to carry a pineapple just fine, but he can't actually carry a durian fruit, even though they might have the same kind of spikes that there is. And he has gloves on, too. So, like, what? What kind of sense does that make? He can carry a pineapple just fine, but he can't carry a durian fruit? I don't know what the fuck, but anyway, so what you want to do is that you want to make sure that that the Yoshi you're riding on has a matching color, like whether it's either orange or pink. And you just have to go on the empty part of the the one that's missing a carousel itself on the or the car on the merry-go-round. And then that's how you get to this secret area. So yeah, just make sure it's either orange or pink. I'm pretty sure it's probably just orange, but I don't know. And then you get to the secret course. And this secret course here, okay, so this is actually one of those instances in which I really wish we had a long jump for this one, because there's going to be like some moving platforms you have to go around. And yeah, you want to make sure time right. And look at this here, folks. I didn't do this on purpose, actually. I literally pressed the A button when I record this. Like, when I try to get to the other platform, I was trying to get over there, and I literally pressed the A button, and Mario still fell off here. So if you're actually very close to the edge, and you could have sworn you tried jumping and pressing the A button, Mario will actually still fall off here. So yeah, again, this really does feel like for some very tight platforming sections in which it really feels clunky. So so yeah, there's going to be a couple of attempts in which I actually, just jump off here. And there'll also be some times where you'll definitely see in a sec that, I try to grab onto the other one of the platforms, and then, but then Mario just falls off instead of grabbing onto into the ledge like he's supposed to. See, like that there. Yeah, he's supposed to grab onto the ledge, but he didn't. Instead, he just goes backwards and falls off here. So yeah, it really does feel clunky here. So yeah, that's the reason I actually died a couple of times, because I could have sworn I pressed the A button and had Mario grab them, but no! Instead, it just does that here. So yeah, that's... I hate to play in the game for this one, though, but I'm gonna add to this time, though. So yeah, this part really does make me nervous. Yeah, especially this instance here. So yeah, it really made me nervous for the whole thing. So but yeah, that's where the Shine Sprite is. But yeah, again, we're gonna have to go back to it for the secret Shine Sprite. So yeah, there's that. Also, you saw that one sculpture of that Pianta that's having well, you saw there was a pear that's under the nose or coming from the nostril, and my God, gross! That is disgusting, because it looks like a loogie coming out of it for the pear, and Yoshi can actually still eat it. Well, granted though, it is actually a pear and not an actual loogie, but it does look gross. It does look like such, and that really does maybe give me some uncomfortable feelings. And you know what? I actually said the same instance for Pop Leo. The water starter for Gen 7, and those of you who probably might not know if you haven't really played Sun and Moon. But like, Pop Leo, well, apparently what it does is that it actually creates bubble snots. Yeah, it doesn't right out of its nose and creates a bubble out of it. And that was the reason why I was very much anti Pop Leo because of it, because again, it's fucking gross to see that there. But anyway, so we have a Shadow Mario mission here, and so yeah, another one of those chases here. This one kind of took a while for me because I almost kind of lost Shadow Mario, and I was trying to chase around. And yeah, this would make it the second time or second mission we had to go after Shadow Mario, because we actually did technically encounter him in the very first mission with Mega Bowser, but that was actually when I found out who Shadow Mario really is. He was already a Bowser Jr. and was supposed to have escaped, but then he decided to come back here anyway. So I guess he must be that persistent or determined or something like that, though. But yeah, same as before. And there's a lot of the NPCs that will try to get in your way as well. So, so I actually want to go back a bit here about when I was talking about how fast the motion was on the Ferris wheel and how we had to stop it. It was, and I actually mentioned the fact that there were some rides that actually made me think of some of the other rides that actually would make me feel nauseous. One thing I do want to bring up, there was this one ride in Epcot in Disney World. I think it was called Mission Space is what it was. And so there were two rides about it. There was the standard one, but there was also the motion one where it's supposed to give you a feel for going up to outer space, and that's actually how the astronauts have to deal with when they go into space. They would feel nauseous. But what it is that it would actually go and spin around, and And so because of that, if you don't like those kind of roller coasters, if you're pretty sensitive to those like I am, then you're going to feel very queasy, because that's what happened to me, because I'm actually very sensitive to rides that spin around, because if I go on those, I get very nauseous. And that's why I never like going on those rides, because it's not a very comfortable feeling, and, you know, I get kind of sick to my stomach. And so, you know, one of my best friends, when he and I went over to one of that ride, he actually very much loved the ride because he was able to handle it, though, but I couldn't, though, because, you know, again, my stomach was a little more sensitive to it. And so, it was even at the instance where, you know, I had to make sure not to eat anything, though, because you really don't want to eat before going on the ride, because you will regret it. But even when I didn't really eat, though, and I actually still felt nauseous for that, and that's why I realized that, yeah, I honestly can't go on these rides, because you know, it's not good for my stomach to do that, and it's gonna make me sick because of that. So if I was to go to Mission Space, and I'd rather just go over the standard ride where it doesn't have all that, and so I'd be perfectly fine. But yeah, I'd rather not go on it. And also, if you guys have actually heard, there was a there was a thing going on at Epcot called the Food and Wine Festival, which usually happens around in November each year. But you know, where they would have you just get some food and also some wine as well, like, you know, some alcoholic beverages. And man, the stupidity of some people, where, you know, they would actually go and drink some of the wine and become drunk asses, and they actually still go on Mission Space anyway and do the motion sickness part. And oh my god, I feel bad for the cast members there too, because like, you know, people would be so stupid and nuts and not know any better, can't even think at all, to actually think they can just go on those rides after they had their drinks and get drunk in the process. And you know what happens after that? They would vomit so hard after those rides, because people don't even know. These people just can't even think straight for those, and can't even think of consequences, because they're too fucking stupid to realize that. So I feel bad for the cast members, in which they had to go clean off all the vomit that goes all over the place. And oh god, it's terrible. So yeah, that's why, you know, people just can't be smart. You know, they're dumb. But yeah, so again, it's one of those things that really can't go on those rides for, so, you know, because of that. So anyway, this last mission here, the balloon roller coaster. So for this mission here, it's basically like, you know, just going on the roller coaster again with Mega Bowser. Only this time you have a mini game here, which you have to pop all the balloons. Yeah, there's actually there's a total of 20 of them, and that would mean popping every single balloon that there is here, because they count all 20 of them, and they go in their own formations here. So whenever you pick up the rockets, you just have to launch the rocket over to the balloons themselves and to pop them. And here's the problem about this mission here. You can only you go around for 3 laps. And another problem about it is that there is no reticle for this thing, so you have to, like, you know, try to aim it carefully, though. But if there's no reticle, then it's very hard to actually get a good aiming sight for the balloons themselves. And I really wish there was a reticle, because I am a terrible aimer of those things here. So, yeah, make sure to pop all the balloons as possible, though. But here's another thing, and the reason why this is actually one of the most reviled missions that there ever could be, and even I can't stand this mission either. It's because if you go through all 3 of the laps, but you don't pop every single one of the balloons, guess what happens? Come on, guess. Oh, and go. Yeah, we popped all the balloons here. Mario loses life. Yeah, again, he gets cardiac arrest. And not only that, but he also gets booted out of the whole from the whole level. He has to go back in and start all over again. Oh my god, guys, I don't fucking get that for the life of me. Like, why? Why? I don't understand. Why did Mario get a cardiac arrest for losing this here, and then gets booted out? Because oh my god, this is one thing I absolutely fucking hate about Sunshine. It's one of the most god-awful, worst design choices that Nintendo could ever do, and it's so fucking penalizing too. And one of the most dickheaded things they could ever do, just, you know, make you lose a life and then get booted out of the level itself. I don't remember other games doing that too. Well, maybe even not even Galaxy either, because at least Galaxy had a checkpoint system, and you know, and there's not all the instances where Mario actually will lose a life over losing mini games. Like, I don't get it. I don't. It's stupid. It's bad. Ugh. But anyway, so that's all the missions that I'm with, and I actually got it all on my first attempt too, so there's that as well. So anyways, next time on Let's Play Super Mario Sunshine, we're going to go do the other Secret Shines for Pinna Park. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.